Hey guys, Matt, Turn43. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys a new product that I got for my railroad, and that is right here. This is the Lionel TMCC command set, and I spoke about this in a previous video. I believe it was the live blog video I made a little while ago, and I said I was going to be getting some form of a backup for my legacy command set should this ever have to go in for service. I would otherwise be screwed and have no way to run my trains in command mode. So I was toying with the idea of getting either the TMCC set, which is what we have here, or the newer Cab 1L. And I decided to go with this, and I'll explain why in a few minutes. But first, we'll talk about the set, and then we will run some trains with it. Okay, so to connect the TMCC set, it's actually pretty simple. What you're going to do if you have a legacy set, so that's how we're going to be talking about this. We're going to be talking about this is if you have a legacy set. So all you do if you have this is you bring out the Y cable that comes with the legacy set, and then you connect the legacy base end to the legacy base. Then you connect the command base end to this. And then if you have something to connect to the serial comm connection, which in my case I do, I have the PDI starter connector that I have powering my Wi-Fi and the sensor track in there. And that's what that's connected to. And then now you can run the TMCC and the legacy set together. So that's pretty cool. And there's no other wiring other than the cable connections. So that's pretty good there. So what we'll do now is we'll run some trains using the TMCC set. Okay, so we're going to run some trains using the command set. So I'm going to start off by running my C420, and then I'll go ahead and run some other legacy equipped trains. This engine and my Penske Mikado, I'll run that as well. They're my only two TMCC engines at the minute. So these are really, really nice. And then I will run some legacy trains, as I said. Now, running a legacy engine off of the TMCC, you don't get all the features that you can with the legacy set. And I'm going to be running them with the TMCC set just for fun. Although usually I would run the legacy trains with the legacy remote. So, but in any case, let's go ahead and get the C420 powered up and running. Okay, so we're going to get going here. So there we go, we are started up. One thing I want to do before I get this train running is I want to show you guys one thing on here, and that is how to adjust the smoke output. So to do that, we're going to hit aux 2, aux 1, the smoke on button. Now down here you can hit L, M, and H, whichever one you want. Hit H, and you do aux 2. And that'll complete the process. Now you saw me hit L there because once you hit the button to adjust the smoke output, that would serve as the momentum. So that's why I switched it back to L, so that way I have low momentum. And the smoke unit will now be on high output settings, which is pretty cool. Okay, so now that all the smoke stuff is out of the way, we can go ahead and run the engine. So I'll go ahead and run through some of the sounds, and then we'll get this train moving here.
NW417, I'm ready to go. Waiting on your order. Over. NW417, please stand by. Over. Roger, 417, hold it for your signal. Out.
See the smoke unit working there. How's it going?
417, you are good to go. Over. Thank you, sir. Cleared outbound. 417, out. NW417 going. We're over.
As you guys can see, it is pretty complicated running a whole bunch of trains at once. But what I wanted to show you in this clip is that you can use both the Legacy and the TMCC systems together. I currently got the Burlington on my Legacy, and then I have the 2 trains on the other track on my TMCC, and you can use them both together, so that's pretty cool there. So that was just a little running action with the TMCC remote, and as you guys can see, it ran very, very well, even alongside the Legacy remote. So as you guys can see, it is possible to run both remotes at the same time, which is pretty cool. And as I talked about in the beginning of this video, I said I would talk about the reasons as to why I got the Cab 1 versus the Cab 1L, and we'll talk about that right now. So the main reason why I got this was because I really wanted to see how running trains was like with the equipment that was available at the time of TMCC engines. And I figured buying the Cab 1L, while that would be useful, it wouldn't really give the full effect that I particularly wanted, which was, again, being able to see how running the TMCC engines with the remote that was available at the time of those engines being out, so I could see how running it was. And as you guys can see, it's pretty cool. So it is really nice. It took me a while to find this, though. I got it from Grabowski's Trains, and he had a new one and a used one. I spent the extra money and bought the new one, only because this command system is a little bit old and parts are hard to find. So I figured I would just spend the extra money and just buy the new one and not have to gamble that the used one would actually work. Even though he said it tested fine, I'd spend the extra $20 and get it. So this was like $170, I think. And with shipping, shipping was expensive on this. It was like $15 to ship it. So it came to like $185, but it's worth it in my opinion. So really do like it there. And the wiring, again, as I talked about, it's very, very simple and it's really easy. So that's about going to wrap it up for this video here. If you guys have any other questions on this, just go ahead and ask me about it and I will be sure to answer those questions. So we'll do a couple more running clips and then the video will end. So we'll see you guys. Take it easy.
How's my track look ahead? Over. 1995. You've got 3 points. Over. I copy that. 1995 out.